Hey, I'm Adam. It's February 19th, and we do daily devotionals for busy Christians, so let's cannonball right into this. We're talking about the foundation of faith, hope, and love. In 1 Corinthians 13:13 ESV, it says, quote, "So now faith, hope, and love abide, these three, but the greatest of these is love." End quote. Faith, hope, love. These three virtues are the very core of what it means to walk with Christ. They shape our character, they guide our decisions, and they define the way that we relate to God and to others. Faith is what connects us to God. It's how we trust Him, how we believe in His promises, even when life doesn't seem to make sense. Without faith, we're lost, wandering, without purpose. Faith is the first step in our walk with Christ, the foundation upon which everything else is built. Hope is what keeps us standing. Hope is the anchor that holds us steady when the storms of life rage. It's not wishful thinking, it's the certainty that God's promises are true. Hope is what keeps us going, even when everything else seems to be falling apart. It reminds us that there is something greater ahead, that God is faithful to complete the good work that He started in us. But love is the greatest, because one day faith will become sight. We won't need to believe in what we can now see. Our doubts, they'll vanish. Our questions will be answered, and faith will no longer be necessary. One day, hope will be fulfilled. Every promise will be realized, and we won't need to cling to hope anymore. We'll stand in the presence of God, where hope finds its completion. But love remains. Love endures. Love never fades, because love is the very nature of God. Love is what sent Jesus to the cross. Love is what will echo into eternity. Love is the force that binds us to God and to one another. So why does this matter? Because we're called to live in love. We're called to reflect God's love in everything we do, not just in words, but in our actions. Not just to those who love us back, but for those who don't. Not just when it's easy, but when it costs something, especially when it costs something. Faith is how we begin. Hope is how we endure. But love is the legacy that we get to leave behind. Love is what defines us as followers of Christ. The love that transforms. Love isn't just something that we feel. It's something that we do. It's a choice made every single day. Even when it's difficult, even when it's undeserved. Paul says in 1 Corinthians 13 that love is patient, it's kind, it doesn't envy or boast, it doesn't insist on its own way, it's not irritable or resentful, it doesn't keep score. That's the kind of love Jesus calls us to. Not just a love that's convenient, not just a love that feels good, but a love that chooses to stay when walking away would be easier. A love that forgives when the world says, hold your grudge. And a love that serves when absolutely nobody is watching. A love that looks like Jesus. I want you to think about someone in your life right now. Someone who's hard to love, someone who's hurt you, someone who's written you off, or maybe you've written off. What would it look like for you to love them the way Christ loves you? Think about that. How would you love this person as if Christ loved you? Because real love isn't about waiting for someone to deserve it. It's about giving it freely, just like Jesus gave it to us. Love transforms us. It changes the very way that we see people, the way that we treat them, and the way that we respond to challenges. When we love like Christ, we become living examples of His grace. We become vessels of His mercy. We become the hands and feet of Jesus in a world that desperately needs love. Love that never fails. That moment you realize you are fully loved by God, not because you earned it, not because you're perfect, but because love is who God is. His love isn't fragile. It doesn't fade when you fail. It doesn't decrease because you doubted it. It stands firm, unshakable, unstoppable. And He calls us to reflect that love to a world in desperate need for it. Love isn't a suggestion. It's a defining mark of a follower of Jesus. It's how the world will know we belong to Him. So, what kind of legacy are you leaving? Will people remember your success, your status, your achievements? Or will they remember the way that you loved? Because love is the only thing that never fails. Love is the one thing that will never be wasted. Love is the only thing that echoes into eternity and beyond. Let's make it what we're known for. Let's live with love so powerful, so undeniable, that it points straight to Jesus. Hey, thanks so much for being here. I hope this touched you in one way. As always, my friends, onward. God bless you.